Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're witnessing another major escalation in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Ukraine has carried out yet another precision strike on the Crimea Bridge, and the results are both shocking and strategically significant. This isn't just about damaged infrastructure. It's about exposing the vulnerabilities Russia has long claimed didn't exist. The latest operation has sent shockwaves across Russian political and military circles, leaving both officials and citizens questioning the security of their most critical assets. The strike occurred in the dead of night, when most traffic on the bridge was minimal. Witnesses reported a sudden, massive explosion lighting up the sky, followed by thick black smoke rising above the structure. Videos captured by residents show fireballs engulfing sections of the bridge, sparks flying, and debris falling into the surrounding waters. Even miles away, people reported hearing the tremors of the blast, with windows rattling and alarms blaring. The scale of the explosion was unlike anything seen in previous attacks, making it clear that Ukraine had struck with unprecedented precision. From the very first moments, the psychological impact was evident. Drivers stopped abruptly, emergency services rushed toward the scene, and panic quickly spread among Russian personnel stationed nearby. Satellite imagery confirms the strike hit key structural points, causing significant damage to both the roadway and the railway line that runs alongside it. Engineers suggest that repairs may take weeks, and even then, the bridge may never fully regain its original strength. The operation exposed not just physical vulnerabilities, but also the fragility of Russian control over the region. Analysts believe Ukraine employed advanced drones or long-range precision, guided missiles for this operation, allowing them to strike deeply into Russian-occupied territory without risking their own personnel. The timing, targeting, and execution all point to a sophisticated intelligence-led campaign. By hitting vital nodes like the Crimea Bridge, Ukraine is strategically disrupting supply lines and exposing systemic weaknesses in Russian logistics. The bridge isn't just a transport route. It's a symbol of Russia's authority over Crimea. Every successful strike undermines not only operational logistics, but also the narrative of invulnerability promoted by Russian state media. Officials rush to downplay the impact, labeling it a minor incident and promising swift repairs. Yet images and videos from the site tell a far different story. Fire and smoke engulfing the structure, vehicles stranded, and emergency crews overwhelmed. Inside the Kremlin, the mood was reportedly tense. President Vladimir Putin was briefed immediately and expressed frustration at yet another breach in what Russia considered a secure area. Officials scrambled to assess damage, reinforce security, and control information leaking to the public. Yet the repeated success of Ukrainian operations highlights a critical reality. Russia cannot fully protect every high-value target, even ones that have been heavily defended. Strategically, this strike has wide-reaching consequences. The Crimea Bridge is the main supply artery for Russian forces in southern Ukraine, particularly around key areas like Kherson and Zaporizhzhia. With the bridge compromised, the flow of fuel, ammunition, and reinforcements becomes more complicated and slower. Russia must reroute supplies through longer, less secure routes, increasing vulnerability to further Ukrainian attacks. Military experts warn that such disruptions can significantly affect Russian operational capabilities during critical phases of the conflict. Globally, reactions have been swift. Western analysts and media outlets emphasize Ukraine's growing technological and tactical capabilities. The strike demonstrates a shift in modern warfare, where precision and intelligence-driven operations can have outsized impacts, often outweighing sheer numbers or firepower. Ukraine continues to adapt its strategy, showing that even against a larger and better-equipped adversary, targeted strikes can create strategic advantages. The psychological impact on Russian troops and citizens cannot be overstated. Multiple strikes on a key infrastructure like the Crimea Bridge sow uncertainty and fear, eroding confidence in military protection and government messaging. Civilians are left questioning the security of not just transport routes, but airbases, fuel depots, and other critical infrastructure. Troops must operate under the constant threat of sudden strikes, forcing constant vigilance and stretching resources thin. Ukraine's approach emphasizes asymmetric warfare. By avoiding direct frontal assaults and instead targeting critical support structures, they create logistical bottlenecks and operational strain for Russia. This strategy allows Ukraine to inflict high-impact results with comparatively limited resources. Social media coverage of the strike amplified this effect, showing the world that Ukraine can strike accurately and decisively, undermining Russian narratives of control and dominance. The timing of this strike also sends a clear strategic message. Russia's claim of invulnerable infrastructure is false. Even areas heavily guarded with radar, electronic jamming, and military patrols can be breached. Ukraine is demonstrating that with the right intelligence, precision technology, and tactical planning, even the most secure targets are within reach. This ongoing pressure creates operational dilemmas for Russian commanders, forcing them to divide attention and resources across multiple points of vulnerability. For Ukraine, the strike reinforces morale both domestically and internationally. Citizens, soldiers, and supporters abroad see tangible evidence of strategic success. Even without openly claiming responsibility, Ukrainian officials allow the operation's effects to speak for themselves. Each success builds confidence, strengthens strategic credibility, and emphasizes Ukraine's growing technological and operational capabilities. Military analysts also point out that the strike represents a broader evolution in modern warfare. Traditional battles over territory are increasingly supplemented or replaced by precision strikes on key infrastructure. Logistics, supply chains, and command structures are now prime targets, with long-range drones and missiles allowing smaller forces to effectively counter larger opponents. Ukraine's operations exemplify this approach, targeting the arteries that keep Russian forces functioning. Russia, on the other hand, faces immense pressure to bolster defenses, but each additional layer consumes more resources and manpower. Every new checkpoint, radar, or drone interception system requires careful allocation, often at the expense of other fronts. This strain is precisely what Ukraine's strategy aims to exploit. By continuously hitting high-altitude targets like the Crimea Bridge, Ukraine keeps Russia reactive and forces them into a defensive posture. The political consequences inside Russia are equally significant. Each attack erodes public confidence, challenges official narratives, and raises questions about the government's ability to maintain control. Critics within Russia have begun highlighting these vulnerabilities, suggesting that repeated strikes on such critical infrastructure expose weaknesses that cannot be easily fixed. Meanwhile, calls for more aggressive responses against Ukraine may grow, escalating tensions further. Daylight footage following the strike revealed the true scale of the damage. Sections of the bridge were severely compromised, fire and smoke still lingered, and emergency crews struggled to stabilize the area. Even with repairs underway, experts warn that the structure may remain vulnerable, especially if targeted again. Ukraine has shown repeatedly that it can strike at will, keeping Russian authorities on edge and civilians uncertain. The broader message is clear. Crimea is no longer untouchable. Ukraine's ability to reach and disrupt key infrastructure demonstrates both technological sophistication and strategic ingenuity. Each strike chips away at Russian dominance and reshapes perceptions of control in occupied territories. Civilians, military personnel, and international observers alike are forced to reassess the security and stability of the region. Finally, the latest operation underscores a pivotal shift in this conflict. Intelligence-driven precision strikes, long-range drones, and deep targeting strategies are now central to Ukraine's operations. The Crimea Bridge strike is not just another attack, it is a statement. It signals that Ukraine can project power deep into occupied areas, disrupt supply chains, and challenge Russian control on multiple levels. The bridge's repeated targeting proves that no asset, no matter how heavily defended, is completely safe. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more updates on this rapidly evolving story and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.